get that early Echo for Perks, they might ban, the early Syndra. Maybe just get rid of Echo because it is a split pusher, but I don't think they have to. And I want to see Fnatic if they first pick Syndra. Shen should be banned last for G2.
All right, Shen is the potential third one for G2 Esports. Fnatic, they banned Rumble in game 1. They'll do the same again. Expects Rumble had a sizable impact. Shen still up and available. We're expecting that for G2. Where do Fnatic go with their first pick? Zyra?
They have done Zyra quite a lot. I value that for Jessis. I don't think Mithy is going to seal away the Zyra specifically, so I don't think that's that high of a prior pick. I mean, maybe he does it because it's against Jessis. That's the Shen one. So, in a way, I actually feel like Syndra right here, to give Caps a good winning lane, would have been a viable pick. They go for Camille, though. It is a multiple flex. Can go mid, support, AD carry. So they don't give away too many things. Camille is a champion, though, who's not been very successful lately in Europe. It's very hard to get her kind of past the early games. That's the thing. After we kind of smacked her down a few times with the nerf pad, she just requires 2 items, desperately requires 2 items to become really strong. And getting to that point is difficult.
Well, it's not exactly indicative of a player and champion performance, but in the EU LCS, Camille is 8 wins and 9 losses. So sub 50%. We'll see what Fnatic can do with it, exactly who's going to run it. I mean, Caps has run that mid and lost with it as well.
And now we get that Syndra.
And there's your Syndra. So would Caps be brave enough to run Camille into Syndra?
I mean, it's
probably.
It's not a matchup I know, but it is Caps, so probably yes. The man is very confident in himself, and we mentioned this in the last game, Trevor, the LeBlanc against Syndra. Him taking that skill matchup against Perks, it's risky again from Caps. Like, Perks has the safe choice here. However, the Echo didn't work.
No.
So he's changing it. And like, this is the thing. He was so good against Giants on this champion. LeBlanc is still strong, but he's just not as... Like, Fnatic has that dream comp of a few patches ago where you're like, oh my god, we got Camille and LeBlanc. That's like insane. But they've been nerfed quite heavily ever since, so they are more on par with the rest.
And now it comes down to player skill. Will Reckless show up and deal more damage than his Ezreal in game 2? Will Caps outplay Perks in the mid lane? He hasn't done so yet this series.
Oh, I like this last pick here from G2 though. Getting a free Malzahar pick this late in the draft, where you can then ban away 2 supports, really set you up for success in the bottom lane.
What if it's Camille support? What if Soaz wants to run something else?
You're fine playing Malzahar against that. That is not a problem for Mithy at all. So if G2 can get a strong 2v2 bot lane here, if Perks can win the matchup in mid, then you have the exact same situation we had last game, where mid and bot lane are winning for G2 and Fnatic falls apart early on. So that is what they're aiming for, get rid of the time. Lulu is still open.
Yeah.
Now I think that is most likely the go-to choice for Jessis, unless he's playing this Camille support. Can still one-shot the Voidlings, which is very important.
Okay, so then what do we see in the top lane? Are we going to see tank v tank?
Well, then it would be Camille top lane if we get the Lulu.
Yeah, Lulu, and of course for Expect into the Camille, no Shen available.
We can
Poppy's taken away now as well.
Okay, can still go for like a Nautilus and then try and just survive. Well, not survive, but actually push the early game and then be impactful as a frontline tank. Other picks against Camille, I keep bringing up the Fizz, but he's an option.
We just keep hoping for it.
Yeah, because it was so funny. Like, man, this is dirty if Sven does this, because it's like some AD carries are, yeah, Barros, he's not as strong as before, but his laning phase is still fantastic. So if you pick him, it often signals, I want a really strong lane. Lucian can fill the shoes as well, especially if you're a good Lucian player.
Well,
so
luckily Sven is a good Lucian player.
Yeah, I think he's pretty decent.
And comboed obviously with that Malzahar, and he sets up for success in the early phases, early laning phase, especially against Ezreal.
Lulu Karma, unless it's Camille support. Elise for Broxa is no big surprise. Fnatic are putting a lot of eggs here in this mid lane. With an Elise, the thing about LeBlanc is she's still fantastic at setting up ganks.
Yes.
Especially against things like Syndra, who is very low mobility. If you can get this LeBlanc going, your Camille and Ezreal, they will get to scale. They will get to this late game point where they will shine.
So Lulu Nautilus, that's what you're anticipating for these last 2 picks here?
I want to see the support, if it is Camille support, or if it is Lulu or Karma coming in for Jessis. Oh, that one!
Do it, do it,
that
do
one.
it, do it, do it!
It was banned in the first game, open in the last one.
Is this going to be support fiddle?
It is going to be support fiddle. Do it, do it, do it, do it, yes!
Crowstorm! Yes! Jesus locks in support Fiddlesticks.
Do it. Pick it. Come on, Expect almost never gets to play carries.
I took a look a little bit earlier. The last time we saw Fiddlesticks in competitive play was on patch 6.24. That's how long ago it was. December last year in the NA Challenger Series qualifiers. And for G2, it's going to be Fizz.
All
Yes!
right. Yeah, see?
Fizz and Fiddle.
All right, we got the prediction here.
No tank in the top lane. This is just going to be fight, 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 I hope.
Yeah.
I hope. And skirmishes and lots of yelling.
Now, Fiddlesticks 7.6, which is the patch we're playing on. He did get buffed. Mainly range on his Q. Went from 525 to 575, so pretty decent buff. Support Fiddlesticks, you max your Q. It's literally all about you point and click fearing a target that your team is killing. So if you look at Fnatic's comp, they have a single target nuke with LeBlanc Q, which is a thing that didn't get nerfed very hard, or it did get nerfed, like it's still fantastic. You have Camille, who's specialized in locking down one target. You have Cocoon against one target. If you're Fnatic, this is a pick composition with Fiddle support leading the CC charge in him point and clicking fear on whichever target, and then Jesus will say, kill this guy.
So you're trying to say the concept is simple, right? The concept.
It sounds simple,
The
yes.
execution, though, onto a Fizz, Rengar, Syndra is going to be quite challenging. Let's see if they can get through it.
Oh, it's going to be super hard to play.
Tefisio, this is the first time all split long that we have seen LeBlanc versus Syndra, as well as the first time that we are seeing Fiddlesticks this year. And it's going to be for Jesus. It was banned in game number 1. 75% of you voted in favor of Fnatic earlier today. Are you still voting with Fnatic? Hashtag FNC win, or will the undefeated G2 remain undefeated?
And we're all super hyped, you know, about Fiddle and everything, and it seems like a surprise pick, but as you said, G2 banned it in the first game. I went in and I looked at solo queue records. Smithy has also been playing it a little bit, so it's not like he's not used to this Fiddle. And also a funny story. When Mithy entered the LCS in the Season 3 2013 summer split, it's a bit of an unknown back then, he was, in many ways, a Fiddle one-trick support. If you go back and watch the old Lemon Dogs games, he played Fiddlesticks in his opening game, and he was the best in Europe at it.
Well, he was the best in Europe, but he's got most of Europe against him.
That's fine.
84% of the fan vote. They did it after picks and bans, before a 6,000 gold lead. So at least the vote is legit this time around.
True.
It meets your standards, Tefisio.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm excited about Fiddle.
You
and
should
Fizz.
be. You should be.
And so should Fnatic, because game 1, the whole narrative that we were pushing, Tefisio, was that G2 don't respond very well as a team to the unexpected. And now you've got double teleport, Camille top, Fiddle bottom. There's a lot of unexpectedness that could come into play.
Now, a little bit more about Fiddle support. What I normally see is Thunderlords as your keystone.
Okay.
Drain, obviously, applies pretty quickly and can proc it. Also, if you get a few bounces with your E, it can be very effective with like an auto coming in to proc the Thunderlords. But as I said earlier, you max Q. Your main objective is not to be a damage dealer.
No, CC bot.
You're a CC bot. You want cooldown reduction, so you obviously get less cooldowns on your fear. That is literally your purpose. His ulti at level 6 can be powerful, but mainly to get yourself in a better position to land your fear.
I also want to keep track on just how disruptive that E from Fiddle will be, the Dark Wind Silence. It's so annoying to play against. Could be pivotal as Reckless already takes a little bit of poke, and Jezus. No bounces on that E this time round.
It is a little bit useless if you only hit one target.
It is indeed. You don't get to prioritize it.
But Fiddle early laning is good. He can actually push a wave very effective with E, like as you see here, onto champion, onto minions. That is a good way for Fiddle to get early push. Ezreal also, level 1 and 2, can challenge the wave effectively. Problem for Fiddle is the further you get into the laning phase, the less damage he kind of has. And again, it becomes more about him landing CC. So G2 are okay surrendering the early lane. Now you just don't want to get, you know, poked down by Fiddle.
Yeah.
That's basically it. But this is the annoying thing. Once you're on the tower, because it's not even something that requires a skill, like a player skill. He sees a minion wave, he throws his E at the minion wave, and it will most likely bounce to the enemy champion.
Oh, there's so much saltiness. And then, of course, any of the poke that Jesus takes, there we go. Any of the poke that Jesus takes, he drains right back. healing up. Okay, we've talked a lot about this Fiddlesticks Ezreal. What about Camille into Fizz in the top lane? So far, expect the wave is pushing away from him, but it feels like it's bouncing back in his favor.
Yeah, so we talked a lot about how Camille really needed time. She really needs scaling. Like, Trinity Force, like getting the Sheen is always the first big spike. Then getting the Titanic Hydra later are the really, really key items for her. So Trinity Force, Titanic Hydra. That's when she can start proccing them multiple times. Like, the damage gets pretty insane. Her tower damage as well is nuts. But Fizz, against melee champions especially, with his new W, when he gets to kind of apply twice, is always tricky. And he actually has more burst damage than you expect. That's the kind of change he got like quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Where when you W, your first basic attack applies, you know, the little dot onto them. And then if you get a second one off them, that is the key thing.
Multiple autos. That works because Soaz and Camille also wants multiple autos, fighting over and over. And as it stands, all right, so Expect is now being pushed back underneath his tower. If you look at the HP bars on the side of your screen, Sven under a lot of pressure because of this Ezreal Fiddlesticks combination.
Yeah, this might have been the game where Sven needed to go longsword 3 potions, just to respect the early trade damage from Jesse's. It's all about sustaining. Like Fiddle, that's the thing again, because he adds so little damage in an all-in pre-level 6. It's not about all-inning. It's all about just poking, which is where the multiple potions start. Yeah. It's very effective against that. But he opted in for Doran's blade here, and he's gone back to base, returns without a potion again. This might be a really bad spot for Sven to be in, because he doesn't have any sustain. His support is not helping him with sustain either. If Jessis can keep landing poke, at level 6, Jessis will all in.
All right, as it stands, Reckless is up 2 waves, 12 CS at the moment, and somewhat of the flip on the other side. Expect up 10 CS against Soaz. We keep catching glimpses of Soaz and Expect trading back and forth, but no one's in kill range yet without those ultimates.
Oh, and it's quite funny with both these champions, because when Camille uses her first charge on Q, she needs to wait a little bit before the second one deals the extra damage. When Fizz applies W, he also needs to wait 2 seconds before then doing it again, because the target has to bleed for 2 seconds basically to get the bonus damage. So it's going to be one of those, like, apply first hit to each other and then kind of walk around, wait, and then apply the second one.
Wait for it. Before we fire it up. Okay, Deficio, we talked so much about every other lane.
Every lane is exciting.
It is, but let's talk about mid lane now. Okay, Caps versus Perks. Skill matchup, it's not heavily in favor of one person or the other, because Perks in the Syndra versus Echo allowed him to get this very sizable gold lead, CS lead, and kills plus assists at 15 as well.
Yeah, he's been winning the CS game, both games here, and also he got that tower down very easily, but just poking it down to like 10%, and then the team came in and took it down with him. Really snowballed the game. He also went to top lane and got another kill. So Perks was a massive part of G2 winning that last game, but this is much better for Caps. He has much more pressure early with the LeBlanc compared to the Echo. G2 is sneaking a dragon here without the AD carry. Man, this is a situation where Fnatic thinks G2 have just gone back and reset. Broxah might try and trade for top tower or top lane kill.
All right, there's no ultimate available. Playful Trickster will dodge the cocoon. Soaz tanks a couple of tower shots. And first blood, it goes to Caps on LeBlanc.
Oh, now bot lane, because the dragon just died here. Fnatic's bot lane did not work up to try and stop them.
Oh,
it is
so
3-6 Rengar Mals, though. They are not that dangerous. So this is going to be bot lane not getting anything on the side of G2, and it's going to be Fnatic getting top tower.
First blood and first tower blood for only a dragon. Fnatic are going to be exceptionally happy with that trade, especially because it was Caps that got his hands. He's gone for a defensive first item in Negatron Cloak, but that's fine.
Remember that last game, how Caps had to TP back to lane over and over? This time, because he was even in lane, he could use the teleport aggressively. He went back to base, then TPs in on the minion top lane to dive, expect, and guarantee this kill here. Like, there's nothing you can do as Fizz. You're not even level 6, you don't even have ulti for some sort of additional CC in any way. Like, you're just going down. Aggressive use of teleport from Caps this time around. 2,000
gold in the lead. In the previous game, Perks had 40% of his team's damage. And now he's playing at a deficit against what could be a hard carry LeBlanc.
That's the thing. Both teams have multiple carries.
Yes.
In this game. Like, there's carries top lane, carries mid lane, carries bot lane. Yeah. Everyone is practically a carry in this game. I would even argue, like, a well-played Fiddle, well, he's a supportive choice here. Can definitely end up carrying a game.
He can if his AD carry is able to stay in lane. Reckless takes a full combo from Mithy and
you got to keep in mind,
back.
Once Jesus hits level 6, he only cares about his AD carry if he feels like he can ult and like set up a gank maybe bot lane. Otherwise, he's just gonna leave. He's like, I'm gonna ult in mid lane. There's a Syndra mid lane. We have Chains, Cocoon, Fiddle Fear. Yes, she has a cleanse, but with that amount of CC, we probably should be able to kill her anyway. Good choice, by the way, from Perks. Being like, there's so much CC on Fnatic's side. I need cleanse. Like, I can't describe from back in my day when we play against Fiddle support all the time. It is so annoying. Even if he's much weaker now, because he literally needs to click on you. Point on click. And you're CC.
Maokai has been popular for such a long time because of that exact reason, and Perks with the same thing. Point and click R. Chunks down caps.
And right now, Jesus has 2 ranks in his E and 2 ranks in his Q. So he needs the E for the lane. Q is what he's gonna max now. Yeah. That's what he wants outside the lane. It's already a 1.5 second CC from this Fiddle 6. And now let's see if he can find any targets. He's almost level 6, everyone. If you think Malzahar level 6 is annoying, fun with Fiddle.
Oh, I can't wait to yell for that ultimate. All right, take a look at this. Chum the waters onto Soaz. Hook shot by some space, and Hextech ultimatum comes down. Trick and expect. Easily combo Soaz.
Soaz overextending up here, giving away a kill to the Fizz that are actually falling behind. Very important for G2 when you have these, you know, carry v carry matchups.
Yes.
Falling behind often means you just become useless.
Does indeed. Good combo damage onto Perks. Caps unable to follow further away, and Crowstorm is available to Jez's. Where is his position?
Setting up a potential dive here. You want brush control as a Fiddle. Always easy to find an opening with your ulti. TP from Soaz. Okay, it is available. There's no ward though for him.
Not gonna be able to stop. Broxah gets chunked down. Insta silence there on the Nether Grasp, and Broxah's able to escape.
So tense.
It is. You've run out of things to say, Deficio, because we're watching. G2 are still behind. It's a good position for Fnatic.
So both top laners have TP. That is important because that means Fnatic can't set up that easy up and play bot lane. I think if Jesus can't find an opening there. Oh, mid lane, mid lane, mid lane.
Oh, so much damage onto Perks. The cleanse comes out as well as the flash. They traded both summoners though.
So, no flash, no cleanse. Instantly, Jesse started his recall. He cancels now to wait in a brush. They're trying to bait G2 here. The bot lane of Fnatic are hoping G2 thinks they went back to base. And then they're gonna ulti.
Not gonna challenge us. Exhaust comes out. Mithy's the target, but Jesus takes so much damage from Sven. He's running away with his life. Malefic Vision's not gonna get the kill. Reckless takes down Mithy. Sven is getting chunked down. Those shots off the shots. Expect gets the reply back. It's a 1-for-1.
You can see how G2's bot lane, they're like, ooh, are they back in base? Are they in this brush here? Kind of need to check. Mithy did find 2 members and he dies. It's a 1-for-1 though. Both TPs being used as well. So now we gotta look at the next lane where there's an opening. Mid lane. No flash, no cleanse from Syndra against Elise, Fiddle, LeBlanc. Like, it's so easy for Fnatic to kill Perks and take that mid tower now. Actually with the Voidling, doesn't get to silence in time. Jesus jumps in and they get this 1-for-1.
Yeah.
So you can see it's hard as a Fiddle to kind of stay in there.
Oh yes.
Gotta respect. You're super squishy. You're one of the most squishy supports.
Oh, he manages to get away with his life this time around, Deficio. Fnatic hold on to the gold lead.
But look at mid lane, look at mid. Look, we got 2 guys from Fnatic around. We have Mithy in here to protect Perks.
Abyssal Scepter on Caps, really reducing the damage from that unleashed power. And some shenanigans are being set up. Another Infernal Drake is spawning in 40 seconds. It looks like G2 are setting themselves up for this objective.
And in this game here, Abyssal Scepter buffs up a lot of other champions as well. Magic damage from Elise, from Fiddle, some of it from Ezreal, from LeBlanc herself. So a lot of members getting buffed by that one item.
Yeah, so as on at least tier 1 with that Tiamat and Phage. Didn't go Sheen first item, trading a lot with Expect.
Yeah.
A little different maybe, but obviously some perks that work in his favor. And he was covering mid lane for a little while as Perks, Caps rather, is actually now on the top lane.
It depends a lot on the gold you have when you're back, but also getting a bit of extra HP in an all-in matchup. They're looking for Source when Sven!
All right, Sven gets taken down.
How is that ever the play? You can see him on the player cam as being like, what did I just do? My entire team walked mid lane. Never, ever, ever go in there as an AD carry there.
Deficio, Fnatic are up in kills, up in gold. They're applying pressure now on multiple lanes and towers. And they're setting themselves up to go into this mid game.
Oh,
they
man.
might even get Infernal Drake. Is this really happening? Is the first defeat of G2 eSports happening right now? Week 10.
Well, right now, Fnatic are leading. It is Snowball versus Snowball in many ways, and it's Fnatic with the early advantage. 2 towers. Dragon now as well. It is looking very, very good for them, Trevor. Let's see what happens here. Broxa.
Good position. Trick's going to come in. Broxa has repelled up into the air. What goes up must come down. Dragon secured by G2 and a kill. Fnatic give away any of the advantages they had just accrued.
But top lane tower is under pressure here because Caps has been sitting up there with teleport. Remember, Perkz has no TP. Perkz cannot match Caps in a side lane. This means Fnatic will always have one lane pushing in their favor. The Camille Fizz might be very even, but the LeBlanc will take the top lane. They're going for her.
All right, Nethergrasp is not available for Mithy, but he does have an exhaust. Caps is going to look for the chains and to expect. Finds one, has already used distortion, trading damage back and forth. There's another one. The Mimic goes out backwards, and this should just be a matter of time. There's no support from the rest of Fnatic.
He's fine.
Caps is going to dash away with distortion. He survives. Trick is looking for it. Caps bounces back to the original placement and tries to shut down Expect, the playful Trickster.
I meant Trick was fine. That's what I meant.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah.
They could both jump, right?
Yeah. See, Trick was cheating with the flash. You know, I didn't expect anyone to use flash in that fight. So, this is Fnatic starting the Dragon after getting a few more kills. But the problem is, it's that 3v4, 5-ish situation where the top lane LeBlanc couldn't really TP in because it wasn't really a fight.
Yeah.
She would kind of TP it in on her own. And that's double Infernal for G2 now. Yes, Fnatic are ahead. Not enough to say, oh, this game is over, you know, this game is done. This is super wide open game. 2 kills on Fizz. That's important for the split push on one side. Imagine a world where Fnatic wins the top lane,
okay,
but G2 wins the bottom lane. Then suddenly you have this like split push versus each other where
then
both have strong lanes.
Who controls middle lane? How do they control middle lane? I'm looking at it.
I'm giving that one to Malzahar and Lucian.
Okay.
Over Ezreal and Fiddle. Like, Fiddle shines when you can't really see him and he kind of jumps out of nowhere, especially with Flash Fear. If he sits in mid, then he's not really a threat.
Yeah.
He's not adding that much. He can wave a little bit, he can throw his E to set up the Ezreal Qs, but that's about it. But really the thing is, even if Source is losing, he can at least play defensive and match teleport. Perkz cannot. If Perkz is going top lane to hold Caps, Fnatic will have a numbers advantage.
So the options to play the map somewhat in favor of Fnatic, despite the fact that mid and maybe one of those split pushes is in favor of G2. And now it comes down to execution. Because
sorry, go ahead.
Down to execution.
I just got
Fnatic
excited, you know.
have played pretty well when playing side lanes. The game they won was about side lane pressure. They never got a chance to in the previous game. Now they've got a sizable enough lead to start their 1-3-1, and that's exactly what's happening.
Exactly, and we have to highlight that Soaz, while he doesn't have 2 kills, he's not behind at the moment. Like, he has a ton of farm on Expect. He's even a level above him, like probably half a level. Assuming Expect will hit 11 very soon. So this is still great for Soaz. Despite seeing 2 kills going over to Fizz, he can control that lane. He has to watch out though, because again, we mentioned this with Rengar. So easy to gank side lanes. So easy with the Fizz fish onto Camille, and then Rengar shows up, and then Camille's dead. Like, there's nothing Camille can do. And that's kind of a tricky thing for Fnatic when it comes to this one, but that's why. There's the ulti from Jessis.
All right, let's see what he can do. Flashes forward, puts down the Terrifier to Expect. Expect's already used Playful Trickster. Thrill of the Hunt comes down from Trick. What was used for the kill? Flash exhaust from Jessis, as well as the Hextech Ultimatum.
This is what we said in Champ Select. Once you get CC'd, you're never getting out.
No.
There's so much single target CC on the side of Fnatic to just keep you down. So G2 needs to make something else happen on the map. They're playing 2-man on bottom side against Caps. Mithy is spotted by a ward here.
Mithy's still got his passive up, which will help him, but Sven could get insta-gibbed.
Yeah, Mithy needs to stay with him because they know LeBlanc is on bottom side. They see her now. LeBlanc can't jump in because of Malzahar ulti. This means G2 are trying to trade that 1 kill for a tower, which is a good trade for G2.
It is. It'll be the first tower of the game for G2. There's not enough support.
Oh, TP behind.
Teleport from Soaz. Teleport from Soaz. Where's he coming in? Gonna look for Sven. That's big damage from the Shatter Orb. Sven is the target. Soaz is gonna run him down. And Jesus is coming over the wall as well. Miffy's got a flash available. Is there a flash chain? Ethereal Chains pops Miffy. Not done yet. Reckless is the target. Unleashed power. Not gonna kill Reckless. Fnatic gets another.
Soon as Fnatic turn on the gas here, everything goes wrong for G2. They did not expect a TP bot lane at all. They thought they could take that bot lane tower, trade it for the kill on Fizz, and then back away. But instant TP from Soaz, great play from him. And then mid lane, Perkz thinking it's a 1v1. Suddenly Broxah's there as well. That's mid lane tower now for Fnatic.
Tower number 4. 5,000 gold in the lead, 7 kills to 4. The only thing G2 has more than Fnatic this game are the 2 dragons. But Fnatic have got all the tools to play with. They also have a teleport for Caps. And this is just a great play between Caps and Soaz.
This is just G2 simply not either expecting or respecting the TP from Soaz. If they knew that TP was available and it could happen, they would have stepped away. But it's a really good setup. Maybe they actually thought there was no wards behind them. Funny enough, when Mithy walked by the river, he did not check the brush. He didn't know there was a control ward in there that could be used to TP on.
And unfortunately, that means G2 continue to fall behind. Now, the drop down you're seeing, the last time G2 lost a European LCS series was on the 18th of February last year to Fnatic. To Fnatic.
Of course, I remember.
You cannot write this stuff, okay? Now, of course, that was a best of 1, right? It was best of 1 in spring last year, best of 2 in summer. G2 have had a couple of draws, they've lost a couple of games, but not a series, and G2 at risk of losing their first European series as Soaz jumps in. He puts the ultimatum down, the Crowstorm doesn't help, and Soaz is dropped where he stands. Caps gets a reply back onto Miffy, but it's a top laner for a support. Trick is looking to re-engage, got some bushes to jump from, but no targets available, and G2 will look for the tower.
Well, let's see Caps get jumped. It's fine, it's okay, it's okay. Now, mid lane tower going down. G2, every time I feel like we're saying, oh, Fnatic, 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 then G2 managed to find a way back. That was a mid lane tower, super important. They still have double Infernal Drake. No TP for Soaz, he used it for that bot lane fight. No ulti from Jessis, no flash from Jessis. Makes the fiddle much,
but there is a
weaker.
teleport from Caps. Caps is going to distortion instantly. Mountain Drake has been interrupted. Caps goes back, he's looking for Trick. Expect get some good damage. There's no other follow-up though. Fnatic will at least stop the dragon.
All right, that's important though. If Fnatic can get this Mountain Drake. Mithy is far away. G2, they give it up. Super key because remember, split push comms are so good at getting all the outer objectives. But when it comes to then kind of finishing the game, so often they rely on getting big objectives like Baron, Elder Drakes. Mountain Drake is fantastic there because you do not need more damage if you're a Fnatic. You have damage everywhere.
Yes.
You need things that can then kill these objectives faster, makes it safer and easier for you to set them up. Engage here, Jessis with the ulti. Didn't get timed with the full engage from the rest of Fnatic, and he didn't actually get to really have an impact in this fight on the Fiddlesticks. Soaz ends up trading 1 for 1. He bought enough time for Caps to get that 1 kill on Mithy, but this actually resulted in that mid lane tower for G2. Luckily though, Fnatic got Mountain Drake.
And those 2 teleports for Fnatic, Deficia, are going to prove so important. Expect has is available, but Soaz will be able to match it very, very soon. And Caps right now going to be looking for Sven. There is support coming if Caps decides to engage.
And that's the thing we talked about like 5-6 minutes ago, how even if G2 can put pressure near the Camille lane, Soaz can just sit back and save his TP. Because the other lane where Caps is playing in, that's where G2 can't respond. That's what happened. Soaz saved his teleport, waited until the correct moment when G2 were pushing bot lane, and then used it. So G2 will always be under pressure because they're behind in globals and they can't match the LeBlanc. And that's why G2 is going to rely on that 4-man group of Trick, Perkz, Sven, Mithy. But it's difficult when you're under pressure in 3 lanes at the moment.
It absolutely is. There's a control ward in the Baron pit because of all the pressure on the map. Fnatic are sitting quite comfortably. They've not killed the ward yet. That would reveal their position. Caps holds onto his W, actually. I think that has just timed out, so he's going to need potentially the Mimic over the wall. Can't quite see the cooldown. Either way, contesting over Vision. That gold lead is now beginning to dwindle, right? Yes, it is still a sizable amount, but with the amount of damage on both sides and the amount of squishies, anybody can get killed in a moment if you are out of position.
And that's both comps are so hard to execute in the fights as well, that it really comes down to individual skill from these players. Even with the 4K goal lead, there is no like, oh, we just have a big tank, he walks in the front, and then we just engage and we kind of steamroll over them kind of fight here. It really is 10 squishies. Rengar will get a bit tanky, and that's gonna be it. That's the most tanky member we will have.
10 squishies with like the most amount of damage possible when you combo it all.
Yeah, it's just like, it's squishies and then it becomes bruises now. You can see Camille getting some tank items, Fizz getting some tanky items, Rengar doing the same, Elise doing the same. Like, none of them ever become full tanks, but become more bruises.
Yes.
So you can survive a little bit more, but not enough to just sit in the front.
And not in a team fight, right? You can survive it maybe in those skirmishes or in the 1v1s a little bit.
You can still get bursted down, yes.
Absolutely. All right, in game number 1, G2 had the largest goal deficit that they've had all split long. That was broken this game, just marginally. Well, by correlation and causation, Fnatic went on to win that game, Deficio. For first time in over a year, G2 is the closest they've been to losing on home soil in a local league. And it would be to a fiddlestick support. Like,
it will be against a team that has struggled so much this split.
yes.
A team where we had a video from Finlay, the manager and now coach, talking about how difficult it's been and how they needed the support of the fans. I feel like in here they've gotten good support. At home, they've gotten good support as well.
86% of the people at home.
And I think it would be so huge for all these people who've just kind of been waiting for that Fnatic success this split. If they get it against G2, the #1 team in Europe, and you almost lock your playoff spot.
Can it carry on though, right? Because like Fnatic still have to play against Misfits later this weekend. And
if you
that
can beat
goes
G2,
well,
you can beat Misfits.
well, there we go. Could set them up for quarterfinals.
Oh, Jess is going in.
3 QSSs on the side of Fnatic. Trick's gonna flash away defensively. There's a flank from Caps on the side lane, and the hook shot gets Soaz in rage of Perkz. Perkz is locked inside the baby cage and sent back to the fountain. Now Soaz is the target. Expect gets exhausted. The damage is gonna get blocked, and Fnatic run away. Bruxa repels up, only to get shut down in the air. That damage over time. G2 have won the team fight. Reckless is the next target. He arc-in shifts, but it may not be to safety just yet. Expect is now getting jumped on. That playful Trickster buys so much time. It's a 1 for 2.
And as you can see, every single fight is so explosive. Caps and the rest of Fnatic try to find multiple angles here, multiple flanks. Caps never really got in the fight because Mithy zoned him away with Sven. Perkz went down, but he got a lot of damage off. They're chasing Trick now. Trick, you have no flash.
Oh, gonna be so difficult. Mithy's gonna be in range to try help out. Trick gets chunked down ever so slightly. Now Mithy's the target. Sven wants to dash over the wall with the relentless pursuit, and Caps will at least threaten him away. All right, so that's gonna balance out the kills from that previous trade. But Baron is so risky without a tank. Baron is gonna melt through so many members of these teams, if that's the objective they're playing around.
That's why we got some armor now. We have armor on Elise with Deadman's Plate. We're getting some on Soaz as well. That means Elise can tank this Baron, at least for a bit. On the side of G2, you get some armor now on Trick. You have armor on Expect. There are members, again, with enough tanky stats to tank the big purple worm. But as we saw in these fights here, again, even when, you know, Soaz or Expect dives in, they gotta fear for their lives very quickly.
Does.
Mithy, I didn't get to see who he used ulti on in the last one. Always think to look for. There's QSS on Caps, QSS on Reckless. On Source as well, like, sucks to be the Malzahar right now because the 3 targets you want, they're gonna say no. Let's see it again. This is the engage in onto Trick. He has to flash away, and then look here, so we get a TP from Source, and on top side, Caps as well. So it's a completely split up fight. They get a kill on Perk, but he gets his ulti down first, plus a nice ulti from Expect when he enters the fight. And now, because Caps is so far away, he just jumped back into your picture here. He's actually not really in the fight. Ends up being that 4v4, another fight.
All right, so as Insta QSS gets out of range of the Nethergrass, the Culling's gonna get blocked by minions ever so slightly. But G2 defend the tower, they're still trailing in gold. Itemization is scaling up. Sven's got himself the Phantom Dance and another BF sword. And look at the damage from that previous fight.
Again, and we have to remember the stats from Infernal Drake, adding to that gold, making this gold lead a little bit smaller in terms of just overall stats you have in this game. Looking at items completed, Ezreal, Trinity Force, his tier is fully upgraded. But on the other side, it's not like Sven is behind in items here. He's on 2.5 as well, just like Reckless is, despite the gold difference. Mid lane, there is a bit of an advantage right now for Caps, but that just got even out by Perkz getting his Void Staff. So he's on 3 full items to 2 and 3.5.
I love this. The glorious return of Righteous Glory on a fiddlestick support. Now, Jez's ultimates have mostly been zoning, right? We've seen him kind of engage and jump in.
Yeah.
And then because of how much damage is done on G2, generally, Jez has then walked away.
You actually get to a point in support fiddlesticks where trying to hit the perfect ulti just makes you worse.
Yes.
And just waiting for that flash Q is the way you can win a team fight for your team. Because everyone wants to see the perfect ulti, but it doesn't deal any damage if you're Jez right now. 30 minutes into the game. He's obviously full support. So for him, it actually ends up being better to just kind of walk around with the team and then look for the flash Q. It's easy, it's quick, and it can be enough to kill that one target.
Well, luckily for Fnatic, they've got themselves that Cloud Drake, which will help out into their mobility caps. No, Perkz is being jumped on, in fact. He's been locked inside the ultimatum. Miffy's already down. Nethergrass wasn't used, but look at the reply damage. So as forced to use the hook shot defensively.
Yeah, and we saw a bit of miscommunication from G2. Perkz used his ulti on Broxa, while the rest of G2 were hitting Soaz. They could have traded 1-for-1. If the Cinder ulti had been used on the Camille, in the end, Soaz stays alive. It's a 1-0 trade in favor of Fnatic. That was the ulti from Jez's.
Yeah.
Well timed from him, but now he has flash ready.
Caps is still sitting inside this bush. Control ward is denying vision, so Caps knows he's safe-ish. However, G2 not going to overstep. And G2, they're still playing in a deficit. It's 5,000 gold at 30 minutes. Nobody's started Baron. Nobody's, combated around vision yet. But that's going to be the next steps.
And so many of our viewers have played against a lot of these different champions in solo queue, and they know how annoying they can be to deal with because there's, again, the mobility. Whenever you step out in a lane, you have to fear for your life. Is it a Rengar who jumps in? Is it a Camille who jumps out of nowhere with an insane range? Is it LeBlanc? Imagine them doing that against some of the absolute best players in Europe. And how hard it is for everyone, because this is no longer just about mechanics, it's also just like your decision making.
Yes.
When can I step forward? Here, Perkz. If he ulti Soaz, that's a 1-for-1. Suddenly G2 actually wins out on it because it's top for support. Trick now looking for a target means Caps is backing away. Like, your brain at the moment as a player in this game is just constantly going, because everything is getting communicated.
There are too many things to balance. G2, they're going to start off on Baron. Okay, Soaz has got teleports available. Caps has also got access to the QSS. Camille's already taken the tower. Miffy's going to get chunked down. Caps has picked up that one. G2 are peeling away. True Shot Barrage will interrupt, and Soaz, he's teleported in for the fight.
Now Broxhead behind the team as well. Here's Soaz.
Look at the hook shot. Soaz gets stunned. He gets dropped before he can even use the ultimate. Now it's made a 1-for-1. Expect the sides to re-engage. Chum the Waters finds nobody. Brox is running for his life. When everyone has damage, everyone's at risk. Mystic shot after Mystic shot, and he's Reckless is helping out. Baron stops 1-for-1, but tower to Fnatic.
And it's quite insane that most of our team fights are like 2 kills, maybe 1 kill, because everyone is able to jump in and out very quickly.
So close. Shatter Orb dealt a lot of damage.
If you stay in a fight for half a second too long, you die as well. So the fact that these players are able to get in and out so quickly is very impressive.
Tofficio, that sentence works if you let go of too long. If you stay in a fight for half a second, you can die.
That's fair.
This game.
That's fair. That's very, very fair.
And this gold lead, does it not matter?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. Look, you compare items again. Just compare items. Most of them are sitting on the same amount of completed items.
What matters is 5 towers to 2, right? This allows Fnatic to play the map a little bit more freely. Maybe try to get some of that vision in, which is why it's felt like Fnatic have been throwing some punches at G2, but unfortunately they've been catching a couple of jabs in the jaw every time they do.
Exactly. This is such an even fight. Potentially go all the rounds before we see what happens. Yeah, LeBlanc Q damage, by the way, guys, it's still pretty damn broken. Like Q into an unusual ulti for another one. Absolutely insane damage after the passive procs. But then you see Soaz. This is what we talk about. Like, he's a bruiser. He's not a massive tank. When he does this, yeah, 4 members are going to kill you very, very fast. And he goes down. Now to get another one. Maybe Brox has low. He has to go down.
Where's the support? Ghost Storm's available for Jez's, but he's not going to use it. Brox's GA has popped.
Caps is bot lane right now. We're going to lose the jungler, but he might try and get this tower. No TP from Expect to go and defend mid lane. Soaz is pushing. Right now, Fnatic, they might try and get 2 towers.
Towers for Baron. We've seen this trade many times.
They're coming in.
Jesus could also use Close Storm into the pit. Where's the call? That's what I'm looking for. Channel it, Jesus. Redemption's going to come down. That will give some HP back to Miffy.
He's coming.
There we go. Core. Jesus jumps into the pit. Baron is being peeled away from. Trick is staying in there. Smite is available to him. And G2 should secure it. And they do. Now Caps forced to use the QSS defensively. G2 get 2 kills in Baron.
Oh, Fnatic 4v5 couldn't stop it. Trick, he's looking for Caps. So be careful though. Gotta respect the damage. Caps is running away. He's gonna get jumped, Trevor. He's gonna get jumped.
He is indeed. Where's the bowler strike? Dashed away from. Trick should be able to follow him down. Caps goes back to the distortion. It feels like this is a matter of time. Trick will be able to jump in just a moment. Has the range. Distortion backwards.
Berg says thank you very much. That was a shutdown from me. Just what he needs. So 4v5. After Broxer ended up getting caught. We were in a replay when we came back out and they found him. Yes, looks fantastic. Your sound effect is great as well when Fiddle uses ulti into a Baron pit, but he's support. He's not gonna add a whole lot of damage. Bot time though, forced G2 back. Problem for the rest of Fnatic is they really couldn't get anyone down, and this Baron was still the objective.
And just like that, G2 now regain control of the game. No, let me rephrase that. They take control of the game. This is the first time in 34 minutes. Expect should be jumped out here. Terrify. Silence is also going to interrupt him. True Shot Barrage for added impact. And the kill is secured by Jesus, but at the cost of an inner tower top.
Well, Fnatic might try and go back in time and stop an inhib tower from falling. G2 can't really continue pushing when it's 4v5, but they can for now because the rest of Fnatic are not here yet. They're on the way, they're running. Can G2 get it down?
Oh, tower goes so low.
It.
Minions are not going to be enough. That tactical sweep from Soaz didn't really find a good stun. And Jesus, there's no flash available.
One that source is GA, he can dive in.
All right, Soaz does dive in. Perks is now running away for his life. He's used that cleanse. Redemption will buy some time, and Fiddlesticks looks for the Petrify. Soaz gets the kill onto Spin. His GA's not been popped yet. Caps looks for Perks. Will not find him. Trix is able to secure the kill.
Man, every single fight is just 1 for 1, 2 for 1. It's insane, like these teams. So even in these fights here, but it's been G2 lately getting the upper hand. That's why they have the Baron. That's why this goal lead that, you know, was 5k before is now dead even. But as we said, with the 5k advantage, it didn't matter. Like, the items were still equal, and they were double Infernal on the side of G2, adding extra scaling. 4v5, Fnatic feel like this is the best chance to engage. I definitely agree with them. You know, with Fizz being dead, with GA complete on Camille. Problem is now, when you're chasing here, it's hard for everyone to follow in time. You see Reckless hasn't really been able to enter the fight just yet. Sven playing this super aggressive, too aggressive, honestly. And will die for. But then look at our Caps here. Remember, he can't jump back instantly. He got silenced though.
Yeah,
that's it.
Couldn't have done it even if he was able to. And G2 will get their 3rd dragon of the game. There's a cloud that will equal out at least the clouds on the respective sides. Now, does Soaz continue to push without vision? Luckily, no.
But Trevor, this feels like Fnatic are just giving it everything they got. Everything. And even when they give it everything, when they get early advantages, G2 are still able to fight against them and bounce back. Like, that's the thing. It's not a surprise G2 can match Fnatic. It's a surprise even when this far down against double TP, LeBlanc being fed, G2 are still able to then get back in the game and even be ahead right now.
Yeah, and unfortunately for G2, they're going to lose the Baron buff, but it doesn't matter. It equalized the map control. All right, you're looking at 5 towers to 4. G2 are continuing to pressure. This is going to be dropped to below half. And Expect is ushering in a wave in the top lane as well. So Fnatic can now peel away from the mid lane defense, and Fnatic are under more pressure. G2, yes, they have more to lose this game. The undefeated streak, 406 days on European soil. But Fnatic have already shown that they can go toe-to-toe with maybe an unconventional style.
Yes, I agree.
Can they win it? Caps is setting himself up for a flank.
Well, he's
Defisio.
spotted though, because he's killing that ward, so they know he's coming from that side. They can back away as 5. So always the important thing, when you see a flank, if you start splitting up, the flank will work. He will find one guy and kill the guy. If you stay as 5, LeBlanc can't jump in and jump back to a distortion fast enough. you will get a kill on it. Go here!
There's the engage. The Crow Storm comes down. A lot of damage onto Miffy. Perks is golden in the middle of the fight, and Soaz may lose his life. His GA wasn't popped, remember, so it will get now. It's support for support. Reckless has got a lot of HP to work with, and Sven is backing away. Caps trying to get in on the side lane. Last time he attempted the distortion, he died, and it looks like G2 have escaped.
Expect going back to base here. Does have teleport. TP coming in from Source as well.
All right, Cocoon onto Brox.
Oh, Expect just made it back.
Tagged down. Expect has backed away. Where's Expect teleporting to? The middle of the lane. Sven is there. Trick and Perks. They turn around. Two-man stun. Soaz is the target. Sven rattles 1,000 shots across his face and picks up another kill. Now Brox is the target. He also has a GA. That gets popped. There's not enough support. Perks is looking to shut this one out as Broxer repels up, gets the shutdown. They trade 1-for-1. Caps is playing Ring-a-Ring-a Rosie. Distortion back and forth. Expect with the GA, not going to kill Reckless yet. Here comes the Terrify. The silence bouncing back and forth, and the tower shot not going to pop the GA.
That is important that Expect keeps his GA. So key for these guys here, that's how they can buy more time. I really got to give some credit to Perks in these fights on Syndra. The way he's able to both deal with the potential flank of Caps, survive the all-in engage, and then land some crucial stuns later when Fnatic is chasing. It has bought quite a lot of kills now for G2. Let's see the fight again. All-in engage is great. Jessis flies in, already checked, there's no wards around him. They get instantly the support down, but Perks stays alive. And now it's the turnaround for G2. Sven left untouched as well in this fight. Everything used from the Fnatic shotgun for an hourglass and a kill on the support. But then look at the chase here. Perks able to kind of zone Caps away, keeping his distance. He has to respect like Reckless, Broxa, a lot of members here who can kill him. Expect, notice the Runic Echo proc here. Just doesn't apply, so he gets to go back to base, gets full HP with Home Guards, that's key. Now let's wait for that next stun here. Perks lines up the stun, hits two members, important one on Soaz. They turn around with the full HP Fizz. Also really can't stress how important it is that that Runic Echo didn't actually interrupt his recall. Because then he would have been sitting here with 10% HP instead of Home Guard's full HP Fizz rejoining the fight.
As we rejoin the game, Deficio, G2 continue to apply pressure. Baron is up in 10 seconds time. Earlier in the game,
Caps spot lane again.
Fnatic were in the lead for 30 minutes. But they simply couldn't extend that further. Caps is pushing down bottom, and Broxer gets caught out. He will get taken down. Nethergrass blocks him out. Caps is applying pressure on the towers. Soaz escapes with the hook shot. It's a 5-on-4 for 53 seconds, but the inhibitor secured.
It's another great stun here from Perks. Max range. Broxer didn't see it coming. Him dying here allows G2 to go to the Baron. But Fnatic can trade for inhib at least.
Yeah, there's no support. Expect was trying to recall, but it's been interrupted by Soaz. G2 decide to go Baron.
So they're starting the Baron here, 4 members. Only Jessis is around to try and see what's happening. Reckless not joining either. Everyone is kind of pinging the Nexus turrets, looking to see if Caps will get some more. But with Expect back, it's going to be Baron for bot lane inhib. Sadly for Fnatic, this means now G2 will get the pressure. And this Elder Drake is not alive to trade for. It's there in a minute. So now G2 can push out Baron buffed minions. Is there a ward placed in the base? No. So there is no wards on the LeBlanc. So they can't even TP into the base of H. Oh, there's a ward behind Trick here. If camera just pans up a little bit.
Yeah, we just caught it at the top. At the moment, Expect is just about to walk past that one. Trick is running in with Thrill of the Hunt. Remember, Elder Dragon, 35 seconds. Super's in the bottom lane, but Fnatic have to fend off Baron for 3 minutes.
Exactly. Now, it is Fnatic. They like to play some of these crazy late games where a lot of things can happen. TP soon up for Soaz, TP up for Caps. I just want to highlight that one ward, if you look at your minimap, just outside the G2 base. If there are super minions in the bot lane pushing for Fnatic near that base, that ward can be used for double TP and a potential base race. Now, I think the ward might expire before that can happen because G2 has pushed out the bottom lane. That's the ward we're talking about. It might have to be the next one. But it looks like Fnatic, with that open inhib, have at least another win condition. Potential double TP backdoor.
Double TP backdoor. If it were any other team...
I know, but there's no minions.
Any other team.
They do not have the bot lane minions, Trevor, so G2 do not have to worry at the moment. It's going to be a fight.
Is waiting in the bush. All right, True Shot Barrage just for some vision. Perks is going to look for a stun here. Manages to catch Caps. That's a lot of damage. Fnatic are now split up. Elder Dragon will get secured by G2 along with the Baron buff. Jez's is pop before he can use anything. No flash, no exhaust. Rocks are rooted in place, but luckily for him, G2 are too far away. 45-second death timer, and G2 are looking for more objectives.
Yeah, again, remember, G2 could set up for this Elder Drake here way in advance with the Baron buff as well. Now, they can push in and get some inhibs because Soaz, he's trying to kill a wave. Really far back to maybe stop a potential finish. But they can't fight without him.
No, they cannot. At the moment, Caps jumps over the wall. Distortion's back. The rest of G2, they've got one inhibitor. They're now going to look for another one. They don't need minions for this.
Oh, look at this big wave bot lane, though. There's a massive wave bot lane and top lane for Fnatic. So G2, they need to go back. They have to respect that potential backdoor with double TP.
No way. Could it end now? 3 seconds for Jesus. He's just spawned. 5 members of G2 backing away. They're being chased down by Fnatic.
So let's see what happens here. Soaz, where's he at the moment? He's with the rest of the team here, but those big minion waves
empowered
in the
recalls.
base.
Expector's going to make it backwards.
He's back.
He's going to be able to deal with the supers, but now it's a 5-on-4. Hook shot from Soaz. Perks is running out of mana. The culling is going to at least send Fnatic defensive. Interrupted the teleport. Expector sides to stay and defend. Sven is in trouble. He's down. He's down. Soaz has got a kill. Now Trick is running for his life. Jess is coming over the wall. Manages to get the clear. The Nexus guys are under pressure. Are G2 really going to lose this game? They're in a 3 versus 5.
The base is dying, Trevor. That's the last Nexus turret. It's going down.
Expector's trying to kill Caps. He's taking a lot of damage. Look at the player cams. They're playing. They want to break the streak. Jesus is going to get shut down. That's a kill. Expector's in trouble. The Nexus is exposed.
Oh my god, they all just died here. Baron buff minions from G2 helping out as well. They actually managed to defend after 2 members died. And that massive wave bot lane. TP was used from Caps into the base. He will not have it now for a few minutes. On the other side, there are also some minions pushing, but now, remember that ward we mentioned with the TP backdoor? That is even more likely now, because there is actually no Nexus turrets. Before they needed minion waves and could just TP to the minions, obviously didn't even need the ward. But now, G2, no TP on Expect, there is TP on Soaz, and he is Camille. Camille can consistently reset her auto with Q.
Yes.
She's very good against structures.
Like an exposed Nexus?
Like an exposed Nexus. You know, Soaz will not need more than a few seconds to deal some serious damage to that Nexus. And it wouldn't be the first time Soaz have gone for a play like that. Let's see the fight. Perks is almost out of mana. Expect Recall to hold the minion wave. TP is back in on the minion, on the Voidling right there. Cancels it, as he feels like now the fight is over. G2 should just run here, but Sven stepping forward, takes some damage. Again, Sven. He's playing too aggressive in this game. The team could have just disengaged. Fnatic, good re-engage. This is 2 kills. How did it not win the game? Source GA get popped back here. They have TP in, they get all the Nexus turrets, but all the minions spawn, they get buffed by Baron. And then it's just a fight. It's Caps going down.
Expector so much work this fight.
Yeah,
he takes out Caps.
So important.
And re-engages onto Broxer
He just saved the game. He literally just saved the game by killing Caps right there. Caps was a full HP LeBlanc entering this TP, or this fight. Inhib is back. That means backdoor is less likely. But Source, he's sitting there.
Oh, this is so close. Hook shot over the wall. Soaz is going to be able to escape.
He's looking for it. Oh, he's so annoying. He's looking for it. You know he's looking for it. It's Soaz, goddammit.
Teleport's available for Soaz, but there's no ward to TP to. Fnatic on the defensive once again. Soaz is
on his way.
I'm going to walk. He's going on a mission.
No, he's not on his way. He's not on his way.
Man.
There's a ward spotting the instant recall.
Chum the Waters from Expect could get used to tag Soaz. G2 could respond quickly. All right, Caps, teleport is available. Just over 2 minutes if Fnatic can survive long enough. Here comes Expect. He holds on to the ulti for now, Deficio.
All right, well, to be fair, Trevor, if G2 had to lose here, if they had to basically lose their winning streak, I think this game is good enough to warrant it, because this has been a very, very fun series to watch. Such a back and forth game as well.
The former Kings of Europe taking on the current Kings of Europe. Expect takes a lot of damage. He's got teleport available to him, so he can join the fight as Sven on the front foot. Now, Sven has played very aggressive all game long. He's been caught out face-checking. He's been caught out sticking around. Will he get caught out again? Caps unable to find the chains, and Soaz eats some unleashed power and
no
the
GA.
stun. True Shot Barrage flies across G2, and Soaz is forced to retreat.
You have to remember the GA was popped in that last fight just at the end, so Soaz is not very tanky right now when he goes in. Expector's on the tower.
He is indeed. G2 now looking for some Nexus turrets or inhibitors. Expector's the target from Soaz. The Hextech ultimatum was already used. Soaz not going to be able to win this fight. Chum the Waters comes out. Brox is looking to help out. Cocoon buys time, but the base is under pressure. G2 says screw the fight, screw the kills. We want the objectives. Nexus turret number 1 down. Methy loses his life. Soaz is traded in reply. 1 for 1 as the Nexus is exposed.
Oh, Expector's on it.
He's coming in for the fight. He's got a GA. The Nexus is being prioritized. And G2 eSports bounce back to take down Fnatic.
What an absolutely insane game, Trevor. They deserve it in the end.
The undefeated streak continues. 406 days undefeated on European soil.
And when you can win a game like this, where you fall behind early, and Fnatic are bringing everything they have, and again, you do deserve to keep your winning streak here in Europe. Oh, those kind of games are so hard to play. You saw the relief as well when they actually managed to win it, because even at the end, with Soaz maybe going for the back door. Dude, they lost 2 guys when they had a massive minion wave in the bot lane, and Expect saved the day when he killed Caps.
What a series. Fnatic, the massive underdogs. Massive underdogs against G2 eSports. They forced G2 to play harder than they have in a very, very long time. Dig deeper, play different styles and compositions. And at the end of the day, G2 find a way to win and remain undefeated.
And I know right now it's sad, you know, to be Fnatic. It's annoying to be Fnatic because you were so close. But the fact that you still won that single game means that Rocket needs to do what you couldn't do, and that is beat G2 to take your playoff spot. So in many ways, without predicting what's going to happen completely on Saturday, but in many ways, Fnatic just put themselves in playoffs.
There's also a tiny little sort of moral victory here. If G2 had gone 4-0 this week, they would have had the 2nd best win percentage split ever in the history of EU LCS. They currently hold 2nd with their 15-3 from last summer. They would have beaten that record, and they now will not be able to do so because Fnatic took that single game off them. At least deny one of those small victories, but
small things.
And I mean, this has to be a confidence boost for Fnatic, but it is also a heartbreaking loss.
I mean, hopefully they take it as, you know, a confidence boost.
Yes.
Like, they were so close to beating the #1 team in Europe. As a team who's been struggling for weeks right now, Fnatic. So going into this next series against Misfits, they should be fired up.
Yeah, but what does this also mean? Because the expectation, right, is that Rocket will not be able to beat G2. And of course, if that happens, Fnatic take 3rd in the group, and that means they're in quarterfinals. They play the #2 from Group B, who will confirm later in the split. But like, does this set them up well for quarterfinal if they've only been successful on the split push playstyle?
Well, seeing as they just found like the Camille as well, that the LeBlanc TP, they found some more champions to play this style.
Yes.
I feel much better about Fnatic going into playoffs right now than I did 2 weeks ago.
Okay,
2 weeks ago, it was like, you know what, Fnatic or Rocket, whoever's going to get that spot, they're going to be much bigger than like an H2K or Splice, and then, you know, that's going to be 1 quarterfinal, which would be probably pretty quick. Now I actually feel like Fnatic have a lot to offer, and I feel like we might end up sending, without saying Rocket can't make it, but I think we're going to end up sending, you know, 6 teams into playoffs where we're going to get a lot close BO5s.
It's going to be very, very exciting. And of course, you know, when we look at the series, so many questions that we're not going to have time to talk about.
I mean, you can't. It's live.
We can't. Anyways, we're going to head over to the interview as Pirates